everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do another hit and miss video to add on to the series. I know I only did one of these last year and I completely lost track of which videos I was doing, but I figured now that it's January, let's just go ahead and do the first hit and miss series of the year. I'm going to go through all the products that I absolutely love, that were absolutely great hits for me, and then we're going to go straight on to do anything that I thought was a miss, and luckily there aren't that many, so we're just going to go and dive right into the video. And I also filmed this look today for a tutorial, so when that is up I'll make sure to post the link in the description bar below, so don't forget to go and click right there so that you can see how you can create this really cool cut crease look as well. And my light has died, so we're just going to keep going through this, power through, don't let anything stop us, and get right on with the video. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about are primers. So for Christmas I got a few gifts from my parents and the majority of them were makeup, and I couldn't have been happier, so thanks Mom and Dad. And the first thing that I got was this little mini photo finish primer from Smashbox. I'm completely behind on the trend on using Smashbox primers and I can't stop hearing amazing things about them, but I couldn't have ever said anything about them myself because I've never used them. So I got this photo finish primer and it says it is oil free, which is perfect for me considering that my skin is a little bit more on the oily side. I wanted to really give this a go, and it's a really small bottle, so I wasn't sure how long it would last. I have used this every single day since I got it, and that was Christmas, so it's now about 3 weeks in and I can't believe how much of this I still have left. It's easy to use, it's a little bit more of like a gel-like consistency, so you kind of need to just work it in and then blend it all over your face, and I really like this primer. It definitely makes my foundation last longer than what I usually would have with any other primer, and yes, I do know that this is a little bit more on the more expensive side of buying products, so I would say it is worth the money, especially because I have this tiny little tube and it's still not finished, especially because I've used it every day. So I'm really impressed with this primer and I would highly recommend it for anyone who is combination to oily skin, just because it does have such a great effect on making sure that your foundation stays nice and smooth and it has no flashback with any flash photography that you have. So really great, and I would highly recommend it. The next primer that I have is also from Smashbox, and this is the Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer. It's another small little sample size that I got in a little gift box, and I think it's a perfect idea to get people these tiny little bottles or tubes, because it's great that they can at least try it out before going to buy the full-sized tube, especially because Smashbox is a more high-end brand. This primer is amazing. I just apply the tiniest amount. Again, I've used it every day since I got it, so this is really great that it's still not finished. And I just apply a little bit on my ring fingers, warm up the product, and then pat it really gently underneath the eyes. It has a kind of cooling effect to it, so it's great in the morning if you put your makeup on every day before heading out to work really early. So it helps to decrease any puffiness, and it's also really hydrating, so it makes sure that your skin doesn't look dry, make sure that it doesn't look cakey, and it makes your concealer last all day, which is perfect. So highly recommend this primer. I actually don't know how much these are, so I'll make sure to check that, and I'll try to remember to put it in the description bar below. If I haven't put it there, just give me a comment and make sure to remind me so that I can tell you how much the full sizes of these would be. But yeah, so I highly recommend both of these primers. So moving on to the next product that I think is an absolute hit is this No. 7 Airbrush Away Foundation. This is the Boots No. 7 brand, and I love their products. I love how good they are for my skin. I don't break out from them. It's a really good quality brand for a really good price. So again, I would highly recommend them. I have bought this foundation quite a while ago, so it's not really something that I got in the last month, but I did kind of pull it out of my collection again when I wanted to try it just to see how I could work with it this time. The last time that I used this product, I actually didn't like it. It was way too oily on my skin, and I was just really not happy with it, and it didn't last. I've actually used this now as a cover over the top of any other foundation that I use. So if I use maybe the Maybelline Fit Me or the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Foundation, then I'll use a layer of that on all over my face, and then I'll put a very small amount of this on top and blend it really smoothly. What that does is, first of all, if you don't have a foundation that's the correct color for your skin, then this one for me really helps to make sure that the foundation blends in a bit better and fits my skin tone. Secondly, it helps to make it look airbrushed. I'm actually wearing it right now as well on top of the foundation that I used in the tutorial. You'll be able to see it when it's posted, and I really liked it. So basically all I do is I take the Morphe M439 brush, which is this really big, dense blending brush for the face, buffing brush I guess, and I take a really small amount of this. It's actually a pipette or like a little squeeze tube, so it comes out quite thick. You can see it's like, ooh, it's really thick. And then I just put a little bit of that directly onto the brush, dab it in the areas that I want to blend, and then just buff it into the foundation that I just applied. And it works amazingly. You really don't need a lot of this product, especially if you use it in the way that I do. I would highly recommend this foundation. Now moving on to setting the foundation, I've been searching far and wide for a setting powder that can work for my skin, that is affordable to buy, that isn't something like the Laura Mercier, because that is one pricey product. As much as I would love to use it, I kind of don't want to buy it purely because of the price. So I've really been searching far and wide for a product that will work for me, and I have finally found it. It is a product that I have used earlier in my life before, and it used to be a powder that I just used on its own just to kind of get away any shine on my face, and it was good to go. And that powder is from Bare Minerals, and it is the original mineral veil. If you guys haven't tried Bare Minerals before, now is the time that I'm going to recommend to you. You have to try it. Bare Minerals is one of the best mineral brands I have ever tried. They are in the mid-price range, so I wouldn't say they're high-end, but I also wouldn't say that they're drugstore low-end prices, but they are definitely worth it. The reason I love this powder is it's slightly pinky, so it does help my foundation to look a little bit more natural on my skin, purely because my skin does have a little bit more of a pink undertone rather than a yellow undertone. The other reason I really love this powder is because it's so finely milled. It is so fine, and it's not thick and heavy that I can dust it over my face without it getting cakey, without my skin drying out, without any of my foundation looking like a completely different product, because I do use my foundation for a reason, and I want that reason to stay. This Mineral Veil powder is incredible, and I'm so glad that I repurchased this and that it's back in my life. So I would highly recommend this, especially if you are combination to oily skin, because it does help to reduce any shine, and it does help the foundation to stay on much longer. It is a little bit more on the translucent side, so the pigmentation in terms of the pinkiness of this powder is not very strong. So don't worry about it, you're not going to get like a pink glaze all over your face. It's also no flashback, so what's great about that is if you're taking flash photography, your face will not suddenly start glowing in areas you don't want them to glow. So I highly recommend this powder for all over the face, and you can even use it on its own without any foundation, without any other base, just to reduce the shine in certain areas, and you're good to go. Another Bare Minerals product is the Well Rested powder, and I actually got the idea from this from Christine Dominique, really amazing YouTuber on YouTube, and I'll post her link down below as well. So if you haven't checked her out before, go ahead and check her out. She's one of my top 5 YouTube bloggers all over the world. I love her. This powder is a slightly more yellowy tone, so this one I specifically use for underneath the eyes. I like to use a sponge, and my sponge has disappeared. I don't know where it is, but I just take a small little triangular cosmetic sponge you can get from any drugstore, any cosmetic store. And I dab it in the powder, and then I just set underneath the eyes. You can let it sit there for a good 5 minutes if you want to do some baking. You can put a little bit on and then just dust it away, or you could just use a brush. I would recommend the contour brush from Real Techniques. It's a really nice shape for underneath the eyes. And then just kind of dust it underneath and brush it away, and you can see it gives like a really nice highlight. This is not highlighting powder. I did not use a contour palette with a specific highlighting powder, and it gives such a nice glow, and it sets the foundation and concealer perfectly. The next product that I have is from M.A.C, and I'm very, very late to the train on this one, but I'm very glad that I got it. It's the M.A.C bronzing powder in Give Me Sun, and it is beautiful. I am wearing it right now. It is not too orangey for my skin. I was really worried it might be, but my secret is to use the Duo Fiber face brush from Real Techniques. You can see it's full of bronzer right now. It gives my face this really beautiful warmth. I'm a little afraid to try this powder with a bit more of a dense brush because I'm afraid it's really gonna look orange on my skin, especially because I am a bit more on the pinky undertone side. So I would recommend this one to anyone who is willing to try it. I do love this product, but it is more on the pricey side, so if you're not entirely sure, maybe try and get a sample, or if you have a friend that has one, then maybe try theirs first just to see if it fits with your skin tone, because it's not the cheapest product, but I love it, so I'm very glad that I got it, and I would recommend using it. The pigmentation is beautiful, the quality is very thin, it doesn't cake onto the face, and you can dust on a lot, and it's really buildable, which is perfect. Now onto brows. I got this eyebrow designer from Kiko. I actually did a whole video on all the Kiko products that I got quite recently. I'll link that down below. And this is one of the products. I did a demonstration of using it, and I used it on top of my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pomade in Auburn. But yeah, so I bought this. It's like €7 or something, so it's really, really affordable. I think it's a brilliant price range, and Kiko has an amazing price range for all of their products anyway. But this is a really nice clear brow gel, and what I love about it is the bristles are really far apart, and they're actually really stiff, so it's great to just apply a thin layer all over the brows. It holds the brow hairs in place, it doesn't budge all day, and it doesn't feel greasy or oily, so I really like this brow gel, and even better, it doesn't wipe away the product underneath. Then we move on to mascara, and I actually got the Smashbox Full Exposure Mascara as another gift from my parents, and I can't believe how amazing this mascara is. Everyone keeps talking about Benefit mascaras and M.A.C mascaras and everything else, but this baby you have to have. The wand is really long, so that gives you a lot of control over the brush, I think, and the size of the bristles are really elongated and really wide, so you get a huge full long lashes effect. Now I have lash extensions, so I actually don't use it as much on the top lashes, only when they're starting to get a little bit thin, but I really like using this on the lower lashes. I'm wearing it right now, and you can see just how full my lower lashes look. I can't believe that actually happens. I didn't know it could happen, but it does, and I love it, and I'm so happy with it, so I would highly recommend this mascara. Now I have a bunch of eyeshadows, and this is a mixture of my money spending and gifts that I got for Christmas, so I'm just going to show you all of them. The first is just the ultimate eyeshadow palette from Makeup Geek. I mean, look at this baby. Look at these shadows. They are absolutely stunning. I would highly recommend Makeup Geek. If you haven't tried Makeup Geek before, go online now, go buy some products and get them sent to you wherever in the world you are, because they are incredible. Insanely well priced and insane quality. You guys, you really have to check out this brand. Marlena is an amazing, amazing person. She started on YouTube. She works with her clients really closely, and I'm really impressed with the integrity that the company has with clients, with themselves, with customers, with everyone. So I would highly recommend just buying their brand just because of that, to be honest. These shadows are actually, they all came in a set. So I couldn't decide on all of the shadows and I was gonna end up buying too many anyway. So I just decided I'll just get the full set. It's very, very hard to pick a favorite because they're all so beautiful, but I really love using Beaches and Cream, which is this one right here. So I really love using that one. I use it mainly to blend out my transition shade color, or I use it as the transition shade color depending on the look that I'm going for, but it works for me perfectly. This one right here, the shimmery one, this is Shimma Shimma, and you can see how pigmented that shadow is. And I love using this one as an inner corner highlight, or when I'm not doing any other makeup whatsoever, all I do is apply Shimma Shimma, a thin layer over the lid, bit of mascara, and I'm out the door. That is my good to go makeup. And then I really love this one. It's like a brown with like gold specks in it. Can't really see it right now, so I'll make sure to put swatches in my blog and I'll put the link for that down below. Another favorite shadow of mine is this one, which is this brown with gold specks in it. You can kind of see it when I move the palette around like that. And that one's called Bada Bing, and it's beautiful. I think I actually did a smoky eye look on this one at some point, and I don't remember if I filmed it. If not, then give me a comment down below if you want to see a smoky eye using that eyeshadow, because it is beautiful, and I would highly recommend getting that one if you're into these brown, warm, smoky eyes. Then the other favorite one is this gorgeous shimmery blue one, and this is called Mermaid, and it's perfectly named because it looks like a mermaid's tail, and it is absolutely stunning. I mean, that is just one swipe, and just look how beautiful and pigmented this eyeshadow is. All of them are absolutely stunning. All of them are really worth your money and the postage that you pay, and it's not that much. So I would highly recommend Makeup Geek shadows, and if you don't know what eyeshadows to get, just go ahead and get the bunch. The next eyeshadow palette that I have is the Smashbox Full Exposure palette. And this one is beautiful. Packaging is absolutely stunning. I love the embossed shiny letters, and there's a nice code on the back here so that you can scan and go look at looks on the site that you want to create using this palette. And it gives you the names and the styles of all of the shadows on the back. And it is a beautiful like matte box. It's not cheap. It feels really nice and sturdy. It's quite a heavy palette with a magnetic close, pretty nice. And inside you get a range of eyeshadows. On the top they're all shimmery, and on the bottom they're all matte. And what I love about the way these palettes are arranged is that the center colors are kind of like your grounding shadows. So you move from here out to the left and you go to more the black cool tone side. And if you move out to the right, then you move to the more warm brown tone side. They're excellent quality. I'll give you a few swatches now. Those are the shimmers, and look at them. They're absolutely gorgeous. They reflect light beautifully. And if we get some of these matte ones in place, the mattes are so creamy. They don't feel dry at all, and the pigmentation is beautiful. They blend really well, but I highly recommend spending your money on this palette. It's perfect for every day, for traveling, because it's got everything you need in just this palette. The other palette I have is also Smashbox, and this is the Double Exposure palette. Same type of packaging, but this time inside you also get a range of colors and this really neat little cover over the top. And what it does is it tells you what these shadows are when they're dry at the top, so when you use them completely dry, and then what happens when you use a damp brush. Now these shadows can be used both wet and dry, and I think that's absolutely amazing, hence the name Double Exposure. It's a beautiful palette. This definitely has to be my favorite palette of all time. These shadows are so versatile. There's a beautiful range of colors in this, and because you can use them wet and dry, you get completely different effects. But I really hope you guys enjoy using this palette. If you've used it before, give me a message down below and let's just chat about how much we love this palette. Highly recommend this. And I also think it's completely worth the money you spend. And it's just beautiful. I just love it. You just have to get it. That's it. The other favorite palette of mine is the Naked Urban Decay Smokey Eye Palette. Really behind on this, got it as a gift. Love it. It's amazing. And I'm not going to say much else about it other than it's amazing. That's it for all the eyeshadows. Now we're going to go on to the last products of my hit list. And it's these 4 lip crayons from 17 Makeup. Now, 17 is a really affordable brand. I've used some of their products a long time ago, and it was like buying that makeup that you get with the magazine. You know, it's like really not that special. But then I got these. I wanted to use this pink one as a really light lip balm one day for work. And it was just supposed to be like a really soft, almost like a shiny pink tone. And that's kind of the vibe I thought I was going to get from this product. Until, oh my word, this gives me that pigmentation, and it's with one swipe. I don't need to build it up. I don't need to add a lip liner. This is the pigmentation you get from this crayon. These crayon lip balms, lipsticks, lip matte crayons, I don't know, they are not supposed to give me this pigmentation, but they do. And it's amazing how moisturizing, how hydrating. They are matte, like semi-matte. They say that they're matte, they're semi-matte, but I just love that about them. So from going from being just a normal tiny lip balm crayon that I was going to use one day, it turned into quickly one of my favorite lip balms, lip crayons of all time. Alrighty, that's it for all of the hits. So now let's go on to the misses for this last month. The only miss that I have is this eyeliner from M.A.C. It's from one of their newest collections. I have no idea what the collection's called. I think it's Rebeleyes. This is a gel pen eyeliner. That's the best I can describe it. I actually did a first impressions video on this product that was mixed with my Kiko products, and I'll put that video down below. And in my first impressions video, I loved it. It was amazing, it was really easy to use, the quality was awesome, it was black as black, and it was perfect. It's a bit disappointing to me that a little bit further on I actually stopped wanting to pick up this product as much, because I really thought, and you can hear it in my first impressions video, that all I wanted to use was that product. My reservations with this product are, one, the gel is way too thick. It's so difficult to use. When I did my first impressions, I did not put eyeshadow on my eyes. So all I had was my own natural skin underneath. That obviously made my life much easier, because when I started putting eyeshadow on, this product doesn't stick very well. So I found myself having to constantly redraw the line. Also, the more you use this pen, the sponge tip actually gets thicker. So it's much wider than when I started using it, and it actually made drawing a wing so much harder. I kept going over it, it kept going all bumpy and around the lines of my eyes and the creases, and it just became a huge mess that I ended up having this enormous graphic liner that I did not want. So what I did was I took a angled brush, I took my angled eyeliner brush like this from Inglot. It is my Ride or Die eyeliner brush for gel, and I use it for pretty much every gel liner that I've ever used in my life. So all I did was I took a bit of this on the tip and I picked up the product and I tried to put it on with this brush, and it didn't work. It just would not go onto my eyes, and it was just making my life so difficult. So every time I wanted to do a gel eyeliner, I would say, okay, I spent a lot of money on this product, let's just use that. I mean, that's what it's there for. And I just found myself not wanting to use it. I just wanted to go back to my old Maybelline black gel eyeliner. Maybe it worked for some of you guys. If you've used it, just give me a comment down below, send me a message, tell me what you think of it, because I'm really curious to know if maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up so that I know that you would love to see more videos like this in the future. I promise I will try my best to stay up to date with these hit and miss videos every month, but I will make sure that I at least give you my reviews on my blog, on Instagram, and on Twitter. So make sure to follow me on all of those, and I'll have all the information you need down in the description bar below. All the products that I showed you today will be in the description bar below. I'll put up any website links and any prices that I can find so that you guys know if you want to buy those products as well. I hope you all had an amazing new year, and I hope to see you all in the near future across all of the videos that I'll be making for 2016. Stay happy and safe in these times ahead, and I'll see you next time. Bye!